Every time he takes the underground, he'd get on at the last second before the doors closed, to avoid being followed. To put in coins on the bus, he has to wrap it in a cloth, so as not to leave any fingerprints. There's always a leaf in front of his house. Whenever someone goes in, he'd find it immediately. The room is full of mirrors, with mirrors of all sizes, to make sure he could see all the corners at once. He was afraid that one day I'm going to die somehow, or get caught, because his profession is an accident maker. He is good at triggering the butterfly effect, making people die in accidents without realizing it. Like this agitated old man, he was about to drive through the downtown area. He was in a hurry to sign a contract, and the female driver in front of him got a flat tire, causing a traffic jam on the street. He had northwest choice but to drive. He was forced to take a side street, and then a water forklift came along, walking and swaying at the same time, spilling water everywhere. Everyone else had their windows closed. He was in a hurry and didn't notice. He left the window open. When the water truck passed by, the water splashed all over him. He put up with it and didn't want to take the time to investigate. Then another banner slid down and covered his windscreen. He couldn't take it anymore. He got out of the car in a rage. He pulled the banner down with all his might. I didn't realize that the force was too great, and tore off a chain and broke the window. Instantly countless sharp glass shards fell. He was killed alive, and the old king who drove the aquatic car, the female driver with a flat tire, and the fat man who untied the banner. They're all Locke's old partners, as long as they pay enough money. This criminal foursome of theirs can make anyone have an accident. But the strange thing is, the operation was a success. When Locke returned to his lair, he said he wanted to kick Wang out of the team. He took out a cigarette from his pocket. This was accidentally dropped by Wang. He dropped it at the scene of the accident. Locke said,
我以后还信不信你们？怎么合作？是不是要换人？
Of course Wang knows, replacement means death. After all, only dead people can keep their secrets, so he made a statement, swore he'd never smoke again.
不要以为做了事没人知道，不是只有我们做这行，做错事，我们可能随时都会遇到意外。
Soon the next order came in. It's a frail guy with glasses. He wanted to kill his paralyzed father. After observing, he found that he had bought a huge amount of insurance for the old man. It seems he wants to kill his father to cheat the insurance. Locke is dedicated to his job. He immediately started to study the old man's death. He memorized the old man's journey every day, and suggested using electricity, because the little brother every night, he would take the old man for a walk, and when he did, he would always pass by a cable. As long as there's a conductor that connects the cable to the old man would be electrocuted instantly. Xiao Mei said it would be fine to hang a rope, but the problem is, the rope needs water to conduct electricity. Besides, what kind of rope is hanging there? It's just a matter of course to be called an accident. They thought about it for 3 days and nights, but they didn't have a clue. Suddenly, on a rainy day, Locke asked the three of them to practice flying kites in the field. He thought, we can use rainwater and broken kite strings as a conductor of electricity. When everything was ready, the four of them spread out near the old man's house, waiting for both the old man and a sudden downpour. But that night, old Wang started smoking again. Fatty reminded him that you're still quitting. Old Wang was puzzled.
戒烟？好好的戒什么烟？
It turns out he's always suffered from amnesia. He's just hiding it from everyone. Locke felt something was wrong. He asked Wang if he was okay. After getting an affirmative answer, he took a look at the timely rain that he had been waiting for with great difficulty. Xiao Mei immediately cut the kite cable as planned, so that the kite landed precisely on the cable. And Lao Wang's task was to block the surveillance with a balloon. But he got sick again. He didn't know what he was doing. But the arrow was on the string, and had to be shot. Locke said he couldn't care less. It's raining too hard for the CCTV to get a clear picture of the people. Fatty listened and gave up. He rode his bike towards the old man. After the mission, Enle was in a hurry to find Wang to ask for punishment. Suddenly a bus lost control, rushed towards him. Although he reacted quickly, he managed to avoid it. But the fat man in front of him didn't notice. He was directly hit by the car and flew away. In order to avoid exposure, Locke made a split-second decision. On the body of the dying fat man, took away all the objects that could prove his identity. Before he died, the fat man said his last words, "Is this an accident?"
是不是？计划呀？
All the money his family had set aside to build the school was stolen. The police said the whole building was burgled. It's a serial burglary, but Locke knew. Stealing from others is just a cover-up. Someone is targeting him, because last night, he was almost killed by a out-of-control bus. Although the news said it was an accident, but Locke understood it was an attempted murder on himself. If a passerby hadn't bumped into him last night, he would have crossed the road. He wouldn't have met the bus. This is obviously someone. This was a deliberate attempt to beat the clock. Locke is particularly sensitive to such coincidences, because he's an accident maker by profession. He's good at creating all kinds of accidents to trigger a chain reaction and make people die. And what makes him even more determined is that bus also hit and killed a fat man. Locke has a team of accidental killers. The fat man is his longest-serving member, so he suspects either there's a mole or someone else is trying to get rid of him. For safety reasons, he unplugged his phone card, cut off all contact with the outside world, and then immediately launched an investigation. He wanted to find out who was behind it. The first person he suspected was Wang in the team, because in the last operation, Wang did not follow the plan. He used a balloon to block the surveillance. After investigation, we found that Wang has serious amnesia. He often forgets. He just took his medicine 2 minutes before. Wang was dismissed as a suspect. Locke monitored his last client. He found out that the client was having an affair with an insurance agent. He seemed to have something to hide. On the bus, Locke heard the insurance agent on the phone.
对，解决了。
He became suspicious, so he rented a room under the insurer's house. When no one was home, he went in and planted 2 bugs. He planned to listen in on him overnight, but it turned out that the insurance clerk, he had a strong anti-bugging sense. He kept the TV on all night. Locke felt he was on the right track. That day, he followed the insurance agent as usual, but unexpectedly found the client was sneaking around. He went to the underground car park to put a bag of money, and the underground car park's CCTV, I don't know who has blocked it with a balloon. This is Locke's usual way of collecting money, but it's always Fatty's job to collect money. Except for Fatty, only he knows where to collect the money. That means whoever comes to collect the money later, whoever picks up the money later will have a problem. It wasn't long before Xiao Mei from the team showed up. Locke immediately called to ask him, "How did you know where to collect the money? Did you team up with the insurance agent to kill Fatty?" Xiao Mei said helplessly, "Fatty told me the location. I just wanted to come here to share the money. And Fatty's death was an accident. We also created an accident. All accidents can be made. Who is the mastermind? You're crazy. You betrayed me. I betrayed your mother."
我们也是制造意外，所有意外都可以制造出来。
谁是主谋？
你疯了你！
你出卖我！
我抽你老妈！
After cleaning up the scene, he immediately went to the insurance company. He planned to continue to spy on the insurers. Instead, he saw the client fell straight down the stairs. He was killed instantly. This man has been listening in on the insurance agent upstairs. It's been a whole week. He suspects that the insurance man is like him. He suspects that the insurance man is an accident maker like him. That is to say, he specializes in creating accidents, by creating accidents to kill people. One day he heard the insurance man say,
窗户松脱，从2楼跌下来，尽快搞定他。
The same day, Locke found his accomplice Wang happened to fall from the first floor. It's true that the insurance agent is a blackmailer. Locke's other partner, Fatty, must have been killed by him too. On this day, Locke saw the landlord. He was plotting something with the insurance agent. Soon he was surrounded by people at his window. The wiretap was immediately discovered and disconnected. His identity was suddenly exposed. Locke was terrified. He didn't expect them to move so fast. So he left the building and decided to strike first. The dusty abandoned car downstairs is the tool he has prepared for killing. All he had to do was wait for the insurance man to come out. At that moment, Wang, who was still in the hospital, called. He said he took too many amnesia pills. He accidentally fell down, and he remembered the fat man who was hit by a car was actually his fault.
皮球掉了出来，
碰到了巴士，
我害死了胖子。
但真的是个意外。
Locke just thought he was talking nonsense. He saw the insuranceman coming. He pressed the car's remote at the right time. The wipers swept away the dust, revealing a layer of highly reflective tinfoil, reflecting the reflective power of the tinfoil, the reflected light from a moving monitor in the distance. He's calculated the distance. He's sure to catch the eye of any driver on the road. The insuranceman was sure to die, but it's not as good as God's plan. In the nick of time, there was a solar eclipse in the sky. The sun's rays have disappeared. Everyone looked up at the sky. The plan had failed. At that moment, the insurer's wife called the landlord's father. Locke learnt that the insurer was the landlord's son-in-law. He suddenly remembered. He had seen in the corridor. He saw the insurance man's renovation notice in the hallway. Did he know that the figure by the window was the figure at the window just a decorator? They also happened to take down the surveillance camera, and the conspiracy between the insuranceman and the landlord was actually a conspiracy.
爸，你指责的工人报的价好像不太对。
Combined with what Wang said just now, Locke completely figured it out. There really are accidents in this world. No one is trying to harm him at all. The solar eclipse is over. The sun is shining again. The next car is heading towards the insurance agent's wife at high speed. Locke ran as fast as he could. He tried to block the car's reflection with his body, but he was still too late. Locke was dumbfounded. He went back to his rented house and packed his bags. He planned to leave the city forever, but then the insurance agent suddenly appeared and stabbed him. It turns out that Locke was in a hurry to block the reflection of the strange action. The insuranceman saw him. Only the person who made the accident could have made such a prediction. He's made so many accidents in his life. He slowly stopped believing that there are real accidents in this world, just like a person who is used to lying. How can one trust the truth from others?